On the day of Eleanor Bennett's will reading, no one in the family imagined that the gathering would destroy every secret they had hidden for years. The woman who had passed away at the age of 82 had not left her fortune to her successful children. She had not left it to the grandson the entire family was always proud of, either. Instead, her entire estate, worth millions of dollars, was awarded to Emily Bennett, the granddaughter everyone considered the biggest failure in the family, and that was only the beginning. In the Bennett family, Emily had always been the one compared to everyone else. She was not a doctor like her cousin Daniel. She was not a lawyer like her cousin Victoria. She did not own a successful business like the rest of the family. After her divorce at the age of 42, Emily moved back into Eleanor's old house to take care of her grandmother. To many people, that looked like failure. At every family gathering, Emily sat quietly at the corner of the table. No one asked for her opinion. No one cared about her life. Aunt Patricia had even said more than once that the girl was simply living off an old woman. Emily never argued. She continued caring for Eleanor day after day. She drove her to medical appointments. She cooked for her. She read books to her every evening. And she silently endured every insult and every look of contempt. That year, winter arrived early. Eleanor passed away peacefully in her sleep. On the day of the funeral, the mansion was filled with people. Relatives returned from everywhere. Everyone cried. Everyone claimed they loved her. But Emily noticed something. Many of them only appeared after hearing that the attorney was preparing to reveal the will. 3 days after the funeral, the entire family gathered in the living room. Attorney James Harrison placed a thick file on the table. A heavy silence filled the room. The reading of the will began. One person received antique paintings. Another received jewelry. Someone else received cash. But all of those gifts were relatively small. Then the attorney paused. He looked directly at Emily. According to the final wishes of Eleanor Bennett, all real estate holdings, investment accounts, business shares, and all remaining assets are to be transferred to Emily Bennett. The room seemed to freeze. Daniel jumped to his feet. That can't be possible. Patricia turned pale. Victoria nearly dropped her phone. Emily was speechless as well. She had never expected anything like this. Only minutes later, accusations began flying across the room. Patricia accused Emily of manipulating her grandmother. Daniel claimed she had taken advantage of an elderly woman. Victoria demanded a legal review of the will. Emily remained motionless. What she felt was not anger. It was heartbreak. For years, she had cared for Eleanor with all the love she had. And now the people she called family were looking at her as if she were a criminal. But attorney James Harrison remained calm. He opened another envelope. This is a handwritten letter Eleanor requested to be read publicly after her death. The room instantly fell silent. The attorney's voice echoed slowly through the room. If you are wondering why I left everything to Emily, the answer is very simple. Emily is the only person who truly loved me. But that is not the most important reason. Several people shifted uncomfortably in their seats. The attorney continued reading. 18 years ago, a large amount of money disappeared from the family account. Everyone believed Emily had stolen it. And because of that accusation, she was isolated for nearly 2 decades. Patricia immediately turned pale. Daniel lowered his head. Victoria clenched her hands. No one expected Eleanor to bring up that incident. Then the next sentence left the entire room stunned. Emily was innocent. The person who took the money was Patricia. Sharp gasps filled the room. Patricia sprang to her feet. No. Mother could never have written that. But the attorney calmly placed dozens of bank records on the table. Years earlier, Eleanor had hired a private investigator. Every piece of evidence had been preserved. Patricia took several steps backward. Her face had gone completely white. But the shock was not over. There was one final section of the letter. I learned the truth many years ago. I remained silent because I did not want this family to fall apart. But what hurt me most was not the money that was stolen. What hurt me most was seeing all of my children willing to believe Emily was guilty without a single piece of evidence. Emily broke down in tears. For 18 years, she had lived beneath the shadow of an accusation she never deserved. She had been looked down upon. She had been excluded. She had been labeled a failure. Meanwhile, the person who was truly responsible had been protected by the entire family. In that moment, no one dared meet Emily's eyes. 1 month later, Emily officially took control of the estate. But the first thing she did was not buy a new car or move somewhere else. Instead, she established the Eleanor Bennett Foundation to support lonely senior citizens. Her grandmother's name was engraved on the first gate of the foundation. On the day of the opening ceremony, many people attended. But Emily stood quietly in front of Eleanor's photograph. She smiled. For the first time in many years, she no longer felt the need to prove her worth to anyone, because the truth had finally been returned to its rightful place. Sometimes, the most overlooked person in a family is the one with the biggest heart. And sometimes, the most valuable inheritance is not money. It is the truth, finally brought into the light after years of being buried. If you were Emily, would you forgive your family after everything that happened? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more family drama Reddit stories, Reddit family drama story content, and emotional dramatic storytelling in future videos.